From the 10th Avenue Extension Grid X6, this is MBN TV, your mega broadcasting network. Good morning and thanks for joining us on the Mega News R6 live from our studios here on the 10th Avenue. Grid X6 Nungwa Adugonon. The news is also live on our social media handles on MBN 360. Now the headlines.
NDC demands parliamentary probe into Afenyo-Markin'S attack on the judge. In business, GSS shuts down 5A homes for allegedly producing substandard mattresses. And on the international front, Ebola outbreak may be spreading faster than first thought, WHO doctor warns.
My name is El Samuels. A very good morning once again. The National Democratic Congress, NDC, has called on Parliament to probe comments made by the minority leader and MP for Efutu Alexander Pamina Afenyo-Markin against a circuit court judge, describing the remarks as a threat to judicial independence.
The call follows criticism from the minority leader over the handling of the case involving the Bruno regional chairman of the New Patriotic Party, NPP, Kwame Bafo, popularly known as Abronye DC, who has been remanded into custody over allegations of misinformation and offensive public statements. At a press conference on Sunday, May 17th, Mr. Afenyo-Markin had criticized the presiding judge over Abronye DC's continued remand and stated that he would continue to disrespect the judge until he upholds the law. He also questioned the judge's competence and challenged him to cite him for contempt. The remarks have since triggered public debate over property of comments made by a senior lawmaker about judicial proceedings. However, speaking to City News on Tuesday, May 19th, a member of the NDC Legal and Communications Committee, Victor Kwajoga Adawudu, posited that the comments risk undermining public confidence in the judiciary. He urged Parliament to take up the matter, stressing the need for lawmakers to act responsible in order to protect the integrity of the judiciary. As parliamentarians, they have privileges, but they must also be responsible. If Parliament will take it up, it should. What is right, and what is wrong is wrong. It does not matter where you belong, he stated.
The Rent Control Department of Ghana has directed all private hostel owners, facility managers, operators, and stakeholders in the students' accommodation sector to suspend any planned increase in hostel fees for the 2026-27 academic year.
In a statement issued on Tuesday, May 19th, and signed by the Acting Rent Commissioner, Frederick Opoku, the directive is described as temporary, pending stakeholder consultations and pricing and related concerns. According to the statement, the Rent Control Department will soon convene a meeting with the key stakeholders in the student hostel accommodation sector, including student representative bodies, to deliberate on unsustainable, fair and lawful measures governing hostel pricing and standards. The engagement is expected to provide a platform for discussions on proposed fee adjustments and other issues affecting the sector. The Office of the Rent Commissioner, together with the Rent Control Department, hereby directs all private hostel owners, facility managers, operators and stakeholders within the student accommodation sector to place a temporary hold on all or any intended or proposed increments in hostel accommodation fees for the 2026-2027 academic year until further notice, the statement said.
In another story, the national youth organizer of the opposition New Patriotic Party, Salam Mustafa, has issued a strong warning that the party would take actions that would make the country extremely ungovernable if what he described as continued harassment and intimidation of its members is not stopped.
Speaking to journalists on Tuesday, May 19th, during a courtesy call by the NPP on the Dean of the Diplomatic Corps to raise concerns about developments in the country, Salam Mustafa said the party would not sit aloof while its members were allegedly targeted. According to him, the NPP remains a formidable political force with millions of supporters nationwide and is prepared to mobilize its base in response to what he termed political persecution.
And trust me, when the NPP says we'll react, we'll react. Because we are not a small political party. If for nothing at all, in the last election, over 4 million people voted for us. And if you count to our database, we know we have numbers. And if this nonsense doesn't stop, we will weaponize our support base. And we will make this country extremely ungovernable for them. We are sending this warning and caution to government that release Abronye. Otherwise, should anything happen to Abronye in custody, you have us to contend with. And this constant harassment and intimidation of NPP people, if you people don't stop it, we'll make sure that we react in such a way that you will not be happy with us. You have a country to govern, and we are here to support you and give you the best of advice from opposition point of view. If you turn us into enemies, we will give you rebellion. And this, take it from me. If we have to weaponize the entire youth of the NPP, rally behind our entire support base, I promise you, we will. Today, if you're an NPP person, when you wake up, you don't know whether you are the next person on the list. And that these days, when you are going out, you must prepare yourself well. You must have toothpaste, toothbrush, sponge, Milo, Cerelac on you, because you don't know whether you'll be picked up in the next moment. That is the sad reality to be an NPP person in Ghana today. For a judge, in all intents and purposes, to look into the eyes of a fellow man and say, go and lie in detention on remand until your case is determined, beats any reasonable imagination. It is so terrible that no matter how well you want to present it, it still beats imagination. And we're asking, is this the democracy that our forebears fought for? Is this the kind of society we want to build? And we think that as a party, we will not sit by and allow this government to continue to harass, molest, intimidate our members. And we are serving this notice to government that the intimidation must end. And we are damn serious about it. That is why today, on the authority of the flag bearer, the leadership of the party, the leadership of parliament, we are taking upon this step. And that if the harassment, intimidation, persecution, and everything doesn't stop, whatever will happen, nobody should blame us.
And as the national youth organizer of the opposition New Patriotic Party, the NPP, away from the NPP corridors, straight to the business desk, where the Ghana Standards Authority has shut down 5A Homes, a Chinese-owned manufacturing company located at Dawenya in the Greater Accra region, for allegedly producing substandard mattresses.
The closure forms part of the Ghana Standards Authority's second day of operations, aimed at clamping down on companies producing inferior products on the Ghanaian market. Speaking during a media engagement after the operation on Tuesday, May 19, the regional manager of the Ghana Standard Authority, Clement Kubati, stated that the exercise is targeted at tracing and removing all substandard products from the market to help reduce the human and environmental impact on Ghanaians. That is why I'm saying we are going to make sure that we will continue with our surveillance. The information that we picked before we came here, we are going to continue. I mean, as you can see, the exercise that we did yesterday, May 18, has prompted this incident. We are going to make sure to reinforce it with our power locks and tail. Simple as that.
We are going to make sure that we will still continue with our surveillance. The information that we picked before we came here, we are going to continue. I mean, as you can see, the exercise that we did yesterday has prompted the action. So what we're just going to do, we are going to make sure that we are going to reinforce it with our power locks and our seal. Simple as that. But as I've tried to open, you see your lady saw a lot of mattresses there. These are mattresses that have been manufactured. It's not a month or two. This is just recent manufacturing. So this adds up to the fifth center. This adds up to the fifth center of substandard mattresses that are being manufactured with that low standard material.
Away from the business desk, let's do some international stories where people living close to the epicenter of a deadly Ebola outbreak have told the BBC of their fears as the World Health Organization (WHO) warns cases may be spreading faster than originally thought.
One man in the Democratic Republic of Congo's northeastern Ituri province, the epicenter of the outbreak, said infected people were dying very fast and added, Ebola has tortured us. The virus has killed 131 people in the DR Congo, and officials say more than 513 cases are now suspected in the country. One person has died in neighboring Uganda. The WHO's Dr. N. Ansia told the BBC that the more the UN agency investigates the outbreak, the clearer it becomes cases have spread to other areas. Modeling by the London-based MRC Center for Global Infectious Disease Analysis, released on Monday, suggested there had been substantial underdetection and that it could not rule out. There had already been more than 1,000 cases. The study suggested that the current outbreak is larger than currently ascertained and that its true magnitude remains uncertain. A man who spoke to BBC News and identified himself as Big Boy said, people are really scared and doing what they can to protect themselves. He said, locals are taking precautions such as washing hands with clean water, but added that he wished they could get access to other protective supplies such as face masks. Another Ituri local, Alfred Giza, said people in the community are aware of the threat and waiting to receive face masks to protect themselves, but that he would not know what to do if a family member or friend contracted the disease. The Red Cross warned that Ebola can escalate quickly if cases are not identified early. Communities lack information and health systems are overwhelmed, adding, we are seeing all those conditions in the current outbreak. On Tuesday, DR Congo President Felix Tshisekedi called for calm and urged Congolese citizens to remain vigilant after holding a crisis meeting on Monday evening.
And this brings us to the end of this morning's Mega News 6 news live and direct from our studios on the 10th Avenue Extension, Great Estate. And the news was also live across our social media handles on MBN 360. We take a second look at the headlines.
NDC demands parliamentary probe into Afenyo-Markin'S attack on the judge. In business, GSS shuts down 5A homes for allegedly producing substandard mattresses. And on the international front, Ebola outbreak may be spreading faster than first thought, WHO doctor warns.
For more news, log on to MBN 360. My name is El Samuels. Sports Update is up next.
MBN, the Gospel News and